Hey, I'm David Bradshaw. I'm here with Todd White.
Hey.
And we're just so excited to invite you on October 6th through 9th. We're going to be on the National Mall. As of right now, we've reserved the entire National Mall. And we're going to be setting up a tent city on the National Mall. 50 tents, one from every state, and we're going to worship. We're going to sing the love songs to Jesus on that National Mall. Fill Washington, D.C. with the presence of God, the love of Jesus, and then love the city well. And we believe it's a DNA moment, that this culture of love, of adoration, of worship is going to be infectious and go out and touch campuses and touch nations. Then on the final day, we're going to get together, just have a massive gathering together with leaders from all around the nation. We're going to preach the gospel, heal the sick, love the region, and worship and pray. So Todd's going to be with us.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
We're so excited to have him and just partner together. And so, Todd, what do you think?
I love it, man. I mean, there's all this talk about like who is going to be president, and then it was like the weirdest election I think we've ever faced, and then all of this. And let's realize that like our nation doesn't hang on our president. It's about Jesus. And so I just believe this is a really amazing time to do this. I believe it's a really amazing place. I mean, what better place than the Capitol, right, where it all went down anyway. So right now we're just going to bring a Jesus people movement up in there. And I really hope that everybody can come. Let's gather together. Worship is incredible. It says that God's enthroned in the praises of his people. And so everybody coming, think about this. Every state's going to have a tent there. So the whole nation's going to be represented right there in DC. What could people do if everybody would just worship Jesus with everything they are and then live like Jesus says to live everywhere they go? It's so powerful. So like, what did Jesus do with just a couple of disciples? And it says that the whole like place was turned upside down because just a couple ran. What if thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people would actually act on what the Bible says is possible? That we could all be supernaturally natural, that we could all walk and destroy hell for a living. I just think it's awesome. Come and let's be empowered. Let's go out there and touch people. There'll be crazy miracles, and it's not just going to happen at the event. It's going to happen everywhere around the event, because this thing is not just to be contained, it's to be dispersed. So I believe it'll be a time of coming to be empowered to go, so that when people even go back to where they go, it'll just be amazing. And think of it, all states will be affected by this. So I hope you guys can join us there. It's going to be a powerful time. Like, bring as many people as you can so that we can make Washington, D.C. shine like a city on a hill.
Come on. Yeah, and I'll tell you this too. This, you might not have known this, but we planned the dates. And there's already a tent on the mall that worships 24 hours a day, David's tent. And so we were working together and just dreaming this thing up. And God boxed us in to this, just word after word and dream after dream. So this is simple obedience, but simple obedience changes history.
Amen.
And so we're planning it, and we prayed separately and got the dates from the Lord separately. Realized afterwards that it's the Feast of Tabernacles, which is that time in Israel's history where they would all gather in tents in their nation's capital.
Wow.
We didn't even mean to do that. And then we're standing in the Park Service office, and we look on the wall, and I realize that there's a plaque on the wall from Promise Keepers, 1997. 1 million Christian men gathered on the National Mall to call on Jesus. 1 million men, the biggest gathering in history on the mall. And then I'm talking to another friend named Rick Ridings in Jerusalem. And I'm just telling him the story because there's amazing stories of how this happened. And he goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, it's a tent city, a new Jesus people movement in Washington, D.C. that we think is going to go viral. We believe it's going to go viral. It's a culture. It's not an event, it's a culture."
That's right.
And he goes, "The Lord told us to set up a tent in Israel, in Jerusalem, those exact same days."
No way.
And so here we have Promise Keeper anniversary, Feast of Tabernacles, and in Jerusalem they're going to do the same thing. We're just going to be going for this, and we're just believing for an absolute open heaven over that city.
That's awesome.
And just for thousands to hear and experience the love of Christ. And ultimately we want to gather around the presence of God, just around the worth of Jesus. That's our message, that's our song, and it's the song that heaven sings. And so we're just going to call the nation together and love Jesus well as a nation. So awakenthedawn.org is where you can find more info. Look forward to seeing you there.
All right. Bless you guys. See you there.